Hey everyone, this is Mike Andes. You're listening to the Business Bootcamp podcast. Today we're going to be talking to someone that makes $185,000 every year cleaning ovens and barbecues. But before we get into that, big thank you to today's sponsor, which is FreshBooks. Go to freshbooks.com/bootcamp for a free 30-day trial. Some of the questions that I've received about FreshBooks and what they do. One of them was, does it work with Mac? Yes, it does. It's on any device, desktop, mobile, tablet, whatever. It works on PC or Mac. Another one was, does FreshBooks allow for your team to collaborate? And yes, you're allowed to track your time and collaborate on the same projects and on the same client. So if you have a big job with one client, multiple people can get in on the software and track their time, etc. Another one was, can you accept credit card payments right through FreshBooks? Yes. There's lots of different integrations, and you can start accepting credit cards right away with zero setup required. It's all integrated right through FreshBooks. A couple people are asking if you have to actually download it onto your desktop. No, it's all online, so you can just access it anywhere. You don't have to have it downloaded on your computer, and if you're away from the office, you can pull it up on your phone. So it's just the amount of people that are not running software like FreshBooks that is doing their accounting, doing their customer relationship management, keeping track of all of their interactions with their clients, and keeping track of their information. You're losing out. The few dollars that you would spend on a program like FreshBooks is incredibly dwarfed by the amount of upsell that you can give the upside that you can get from this, whether it be upselling your clients, just keeping track of their correspondence with you so you know how to effectively upsell them to certain types of products or services. If you're doing anything besides FreshBooks, I would highly, highly recommend you go to freshbooks.com/bootcamp, and in the How Did You Hear About Us section, put Business Bootcamp Podcast. I really appreciate FreshBooks for stepping up and supporting the podcast for as long as it has, and I just know it will help you if you haven't been using FreshBooks. It's the best software out there for small businesses. I would say under probably $500,000, $600,000. If you're underneath that, it's the best bang for your buck. Check out freshbooks.com/bootcamp. Now today on the podcast, I had a call with another Mike, so hopefully it doesn't get confusing. His name is Mike as well as mine, and he has a barbecue and oven cleaning business that he's wondering if he should make a franchise out of it or make like a business opportunity package where he would sell like the operations manual, some equipment, some marketing stuff, just kind of get someone started as a package, and then they can run their own show. So we're kind of weighing out the balances. There is no right or wrong answer that we really go over, but we give out the pros and the cons, and he's just trying to figure out how he can scale this business up. And so you're going to see the kind of the pros, the cons of having a franchise model versus a business opportunity. And I really encourage you, if this is something interesting to you, hit up Mike on his website and see if this is something that you want to do. And a simple, small business that's scalable and has a lot of potential, in my opinion. So without any further delay, let's get to Mike and the oven cleaner that makes $185,000 doing what he does without any employees. Here we go.
Not a problem.
Cool. So give me a little bit of background, kind of like how you started. I know that you're doing barbecue and oven cleaning, and then I know you've been doing that in Colorado for quite a while, making pretty good money for that kind of industry. But give me some background, why you started it, how you started it, and then I got about 22 minutes, and then I got to get out of here. So go ahead.
Not a problem. So basically for me, the industry I was in as a project manager before I started this was, I was into it for like 15 years, was getting bored with it, needed something else to do. So came across the concept of doing barbecue cleaning as a business from really having to do my own grill. I mean, it was just a miserable experience having to clean my own grill. And got online to see how to make it easier on myself, and came across other people in the country doing this as a business. And it was like, I didn't even know that existed. Looked into it, and no one was doing it here in the Denver metro area, and so either there was no market for it, or I was kind of one of the first ones to bring it here. So ultimately when I started this, I started on the weekends just as a side job. just to make a little extra buck. Didn't know if it was going to work or not. But, over the years, working a full-time job, doing this on the weekends, it turned into a nice, full-time job.
Cool. So now you have Prestige, which is the name of the company and everything. And
Yes.
kind of describe to me kind of like the question, kind of a little bit more in detail as far as what you're trying to ask, and like, because I know you're trying to scale this thing out and you're kind of wondering how to do that.
Yeah, one of the things about this business, like I kind of stated in the email, is, this is a unique business where people are realizing that this is a service that they can offer in their areas. And I've been fortunate that, I had somebody in Florida call me up out of the blue and ask me if I could help teach them how to get into this business. And that kind of opened the door for me to, kind of create a training program for others. So, but at the time when I did that, working a full-time job, trying to, travel for that business, trying to run my business on the weekends, I didn't have the time to even pursue that. So, or build upon it. So now that I've been operating this business full-time for last 2 years, I feel like I've got a little more time to expand on that program. Mm-hmm. So, one, it's either, do I create a business opportunity for others to get into the business, or I expand into other areas, or I franchise. So, as I'm trying to, just kind of think of the bigger long-term picture, I honestly don't know what the right direction for me is at this point.
Right. Yeah, like it's a tough one. Like for us, for instance, the reason I wouldn't do the business opportunity for our company is because I want them to be able to obviously have our brand, but then I also I want to be there helping them with like as they grow, like not just at the beginning, not just getting them started, because I feel like for your industry, this is an interesting concept though of doing a business opportunity, because once they kind of get started, once they have some training, some tools, some resources from you, they really could kind of do their own thing. And there's not a whole lot of like ongoing support. And one of the hardest thing for a franchise or to do is to provide enough value for the franchisee ongoing to where it doesn't they make the franchisee feel cheated by sending their royalty check in every month. So, like, for instance, if you did do a franchise, would there be, you just have to ask yourself the question, like, is there enough value that you're providing them on an ongoing basis where they don't feel like they're just, like, kind of checked in with you, gave you a bunch of money, and then now they have to send you a royalty check for using their name, for using someone's brand name, right? So whether that be showing them how to do, scale the business part of it, like hiring, training their employees, billing, stuff like that, or if it's like how to get into different types of ovens or barbecues that they can like expand into. That's more ongoing. But I feel like you have an interesting concept that could be more of a business opportunity where you sell like a package, like to get your business started, and then let them do their own brand, their own website, stuff like that. Is that what you're kind of thinking?
Yeah, cause that's kind of the way that helped this gentleman in Florida get started, was just kind of give him here's the equipment, here's the proprietary equipment, here's the training manual. This is everything you need to get your business up and running. Went out there, trained him how to clean grills, and now he's his own business. He's his own company, operating in his own manner, and he owes me nothing. Mm-hmm. So could I expand on that to kind of create more of a value or more packages? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Certainly as a the ongoing royalty thing, certainly that's more of an appeal,
right.
for most people trying to get into franchising or start a franchise. But there certainly could be additional packages that could be created. Absolutely.
How much would you be selling a package like that for, you think, Mike?
Um, well, the way that I ended up, I don't have the numbers here in front of me, but for what I sold that particular guy, his package. But if I was to kind of look at other packages that are on the market right now for other business opportunities, they're going with the amount of equipment that they have is right about a $15,000 investment, somewhere in that neighborhood. I mean, I think the franchises are a little bit higher than that, but somewhere in the $15,000 range for what I know the other business opportunity or franchises are doing right now.
Yeah. Like I wonder. Have you considered trying to scale it out yourself and just have employees in different markets?
Certainly that's something that I've thought about. I've entertained.
Yeah.
I do have. Well, right now I don't have employees, but I've had 2 employees full time for more of the seasonality. Some college kids that on the summer break, come and help me out, work with me from like March to. Typically it's through September, but both of them ended up going back to either school or off to their career a little earlier this year. But so yeah, I could definitely get employees to help out. Could I do that in other areas? Sure, but there's also that training and supervision.
Yeah, like the only difference, like the thing with the franchise, the only hard part about franchising is the cost up front, and then you really have to sell quite a bit more. And like it's all a legal thing, right? Like even with the business opportunity, there's a lot of red tape as far as what you can and cannot say, and like you can't control the brand at all if you say it's a business opportunity. And there's a lot of legal stuff, right? That's really the main difference. Whereas and the thing too, like with a franchise, you really have to protect you got to do it right from a legal standpoint so that people can't come back at you or they can't tarnish the brand. And so you really do have to spend quite a bit of money, like you're looking at like $100+ just setting up a franchise, to where you can start selling the units.
Yeah, I kind of looked into that, and I was kind of more in the range of just even thinking about it was more of like in the $30,000 range,
right.
just even start the process.
Right. Yeah, and then the I'd say you could, like I've seen some that will do it for you for like 40. The thing is, you got to remember you also might have to go to trade shows. How are you going to market it? Get those first 5 or 10, and then that they're not going to pay for your burn rate for very long. So you got to get to a certain number before you actually make money off of that, right? So it's a little bit different. Like it really comes down to how you want to grow the business, right? Like I think it would work both ways, to be perfectly honest with you, because with the franchise model, you can give them support. You need to give them support outside of just training, whether that be online marketing support, where you give them say seattle.prestigegrillcleaning.com, and then in other markets like San Francisco or sf.prestigegrill.clean, and you do all the website stuff, and then you drive leads to them. You could do something like that. You could do something where you have a call center and you essentially have like some 1-800 barbecue oven, BBQ oven, something like that. That, which by the way would actually work. That's 7 letters. Like something like that, where you can drive value to the franchisee by giving them leads. So that'd be one way to do it. Because I think if I'm correct, you're thinking about it like this. The business opportunity is probably easier to get into. You can probably start selling them pretty quickly. The problem is once you sell it to them, they're kind of like gone. You don't create any brand. You don't get any recurring revenue, and it's kind of a one-shot deal. Yes, if it gets popular, you can start upping the price. But at the end of the day, there's only so many barbecue cleaning companies that can exist. And so what you're looking to do is, okay, if I want to get to 100 of these, I want to have some recurring revenue and not it just stop when I get to 100. And so if that's the way you're thinking, it's a little more long term, then I would say absolutely do franchising. If you're like, hey, I want to spend 3 years, I want to have 2 conferences every year, like every 6 months, where I try to get 100 guys in a room and sell them on this four, five, $10,000 package and make a couple million off of this. Like if I can, obviously it's all about getting people to that meeting. But that's another option. And then also you could always, if you did the business opportunity route, Mike, another way to monetize that is to create your own products and then make it like sell those to the business opportunity people.
Yeah, it's basically that's kind of where to me to monetize this, it would be to either one. I don't know how I'd necessarily do this, but either one, help them with their advertising, help them with their marketing. Obviously, the equipment that they would need to get started, I could sell that. But again, all of that is just a one-off type of a thing.
Right.
All their the cleaners that they need. Certainly could I start stocking some of that and start selling that to them? Sure, absolutely. But the monetizing it is definitely where I would want to start to take this, because ultimately I want to try to scale, grow, and duplicate my business, and the only way to again is that franchising. It kind of sounds like it, but because I'm not going to be able to duplicate my business with a business opportunity.
Right.
Can I try to duplicate my business through someone else and help them grow their business? Sure, absolutely. But that's not obviously bringing me in any kind of a royalty or anything like that down the road. That's just helping somebody out, which certainly I would enjoy doing.
Right, like what's interesting about the business model that you'd be selling is, okay, this can be done mostly by one person. So someone that doesn't want to hire a bunch of people, they can still get into this, but then they can work around they have their own schedule, things like that. They can, like, based upon the numbers you showed me, you're grossing almost 180 or whatever a year, and so I'm guessing you'll have a pretty good profit margin on that. Like you can literally sell this as like, hey, you can get a six-figure income almost as far as net profit by yourself, not having to hire a bunch of people, and we're going to give you the leads. Like that would be the value to being the franchise, Mike, is if you can create a website and a brand, like I said, if it's something like 1-800-barbecue oven, and kind of like 1-800-got-junk, right? Where that's the number, and the reason they are so successful is because when you call that 1-800 number, it's not the franchisee you're calling a call center, and then that lead is pushed on to the franchisee. And so the reason that was so valuable is now when you buy a 1-800-got-junk, you instantly get leads all throughout your community that is calling that number. And so the franchisor has all the power. And so there's no issue of like, oh, well, now they're not giving me any support or they're not giving me any help because they just got me started. And so that's our big challenges. And as we, franchise our company, is like, okay, how do we provide value long term? And so the royalty isn't like an ongoing problem. We're always like trying to make up reasons how we're helping the client or like the franchisee. So I think there you could do that. I really do, and that'd be the more profitable route. It really comes down to what do you want out of the business? Because if you do the business opportunity thing, you could probably supplement your income, make an extra 20-30 grand a year, do a couple of these a year by people who reach out to you, and you'll make a little bit extra on the side. But if you wanted to go like all in on it, and it might take a couple $100,000 worth of franchising, doing some stuff wrong, figuring it out, doing some marketing to get franchisees. Like that's really, in a few years of really a lot of work. But if you can keep your business going and kind of supplement it and kind of have a little bit of cash reserves, I think it's doable. And then even if you start selling these for 10, 15 grand, like I think it's an opportunity for someone that is, has entrepreneurial tendencies and doesn't want a job, but then can't handle the management side of running a business.
Sure, absolutely.
And if you can provide the value of like I said, like I think the best way for this to work is if you were able to generate the leads for them. And so whether that be a call center or like creating their website at least for them at the beginning, where they can, like someone that's non-tech, doesn't like to manage, can jump into this business, make a solid salary or like a solid income every, this is a great business because it's year round in some regards. You don't, there's different ways you can make that. And so I think it's a great opportunity and one that could really, really work. I don't know, is there other franchises that are doing this already?
Yeah, there's a couple of franchises out there right now that have been around for a little while, but they solely just focus on just barbecue cleaning. That's all they do. That's all they offer. That's all they sell. Some of them, I think they both might do repairs as well. I know one does. I don't know about the other one. Then there's would be another business opportunity out there that's been doing this for a while that kind of started here in the United States. And he'll sell all the equipment and everything himself. But what I find is that for that he just sells them the equipment. Hey, here you go. Here's a training manual. Get going. But he doesn't help them with the business aspect of it. And I've gotten quite a few, a handful of phone calls every year from guys that say, "Hey, how do you?" I need help advertising. What are you doing? How are you being successful? So I see that there's an opportunity there to help other grill cleaners out there with their marketing, with how to find customers. Maybe anybody can teach you how to clean a grill, but it's the running of the business,
right.
Making it a business that's difficult for these guys. And that's the part that I would probably focus more on helping them out with. Again, I can tell anybody I'm the best grill cleaner in the world, but that doesn't, I'll teach you everything I know, but that doesn't help you run the business.
Right.
So, that's the direction that I would take this is, I'll get you going. I'll help you get set up. I'll give you all the tools and the equipment, but let's teach you how to run the business. Let's show you how to get the customer. The right message to present to the customers. That's where people I think are struggling, at least with the business opportunity. I don't get too many people from the franchise side calling me up. It's more of the one-off guy that starts his company and now he's been going for 6 months. August comes around, everybody is on vacation, the phones stop ringing, and he's struggling to keep his business afloat. Those are the kind of guys that I tend to talk to more often. So, I think I think in my mind, I already have kind of the base for this business opportunity to. I already have the program, the training manual, already have everything, the contract, everything already set up based off of this guy that got started in Florida. That would make it easier to basically start with that. At least get it to a point where, like you said, if that generates enough income over time, then maybe that could be used as if I want to start franchising my business.
Right, and like that's partly, Mike, like why I started a second location is we were gonna franchise right off the bat, but like honestly, one of the main reasons is we needed to spin off more cash to fund the franchising process, because I need to, number one, create a system that's gonna run without me, and then while I'm working like crazy on the franchise opportunity and getting marketing for that done, I still need income, right? And so like it's a lot of times when people go for the franchising thing, they're like, okay, it's 40, 50 grand to do the legal stuff, and that's great. And then they forget that like they're gonna have to travel to trade shows or like do marketing somehow, and they don't have any money at the end of the day, right? So I think you can actually do this as a franchise, and I think it's gonna make more money if you do it as a franchise for yourself. And I personally think the best way to do that is offer leads to your franchisee. Make it where like literally you can promise them they're gonna get X amount of leads in their market, and then you can run the marketing to make sure they hit those numbers. And when you do that, you're basically handing them a package business, right? Like you can go out and tell people how to do it and all that, but they might not do it, right? Whereas if you would run a franchise, you can control their flow of leads. If you do it like I'm just looking up actually right now, barbecue It's probably taken. Yeah, it's taken. But like I was thinking, like 1-800 barbecue oven. I don't even know if that phone number is available. But like something like that is a brand that can be put on all of the trucks. That when people start to see the trucks, they start calling. But guess who the call goes through? You as the franchisor, right? And now you're offering value.
Yeah, no, makes sense. Yeah, the reason why that's probably taken is there's an awful lot of oven cleaning franchises in the UK and Australia that they're like lawn care, or maid services here. There's an awful lot of franchises over there. So,
right.
Ultimately, they're going to come here, and in my opinion, I might as well be the one to start it here instead of letting them, come over first. So, that's kind of been my ultimate goal since I started this. I mean, that's ultimately why I called this Prestige instead of Mike's Grill Cleaning. Yeah. I wanted this to be a nationwide type of a name or company or recognition, not something that's a local only type company. So that was my strategic thinking in the beginning.
Yeah, like I guess really I think both ways would work. I think it really comes down to how much time you want to put into it, how much money, and like because obviously if you go the franchise route, I think you would make more money long term if it works out. Whereas low risk and easy hanging fruit is to do a business opportunity where people can just buy, for $20,000, a system that works, get all your training, how to do it. You tell them how to do it, but you don't necessarily do it for them. And that'd be the low hanging fruit.
So for the franchise route, though, like you said, it's a couple $100,000 to kind of get that up and going. Obviously, with my business here locally, I would have to get the infrastructure or the people in place to basically operate this particular business location while I step away then and start to build the franchise.
Well, I would say, I would say you need at least someone to be doing the work part, and that is like cleaning the ovens and the barbecues to give you time to work on the concept, iron out like the legal stuff, maybe make a few trips to potential franchisees or have them come meet you, go to trade shows, etc. And so I don't think that'd be a massive push for you because you could probably pay someone, 30, 40 grand a year to take that part off your plate, and they could expect them to be pretty good at that price. If they're clean, but you'd have to train them, make sure. But at the end of the day, that's what you want, is you want to make sure, and this is the part of the reason why I'd almost say try doing the business opportunity for a while, because you're going to get a lot of different problems come up, and you're going to get in the other companies, and you're going to find out where the holes are in your business model, and then you'll be able to create a better franchise. So what I mean by that is like this is part of the reason why like the course has helped me so much. Like I teach a landscaping course for business owners because I see where the model has holes in different markets, and then it helps me modify that franchise so when it comes to market it's really good. Because the last thing you want to do is you sell a few franchises, whoop-de-doo, and then you find out, okay, it was great in Colorado, but all of a sudden it's not working somewhere else. And so if you can iron those problems out before by, offering a package for a couple years, maybe sell 5 or 6 of them, get different feedback, what's working, what's not working, and really develop the business side of things so it can work anywhere. It's really scalable anywhere, duplicatable. Then I think that might be more valuable to you.
No, that's a great idea. So let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Did you start your landscape course with that in mind to basically kind of start your building your base for your franchises? Yeah.
I knew that we were going to franchise from the get, but I knew that the course would allow me to get hundreds of people in the U.S., and we have Canada and Australia that have the course and give me feedback on what's working, what's not working, and then I'm able to know, okay, in this, I know for a fact that in certain markets where the course is selling, they don't hardly mow grass at all. So like, I need to figure out how, if I'm going to sell franchises in those markets, what can I be selling or what can I be providing value to them to offer other services? And then I know in certain markets it works better. Like I need to modify certain things, and then I also realize there's certain things I need to change. For instance, like our estimate sheets that we've edited a couple times. What else have we changed? A few different types of marketing that I started out with, and I'm like, you know what, that doesn't work as well. It doesn't portray the brand exactly right, and so I just switch it all up. Right? You just learn by seeing how it works everywhere else, because at the end of the day you can't be at all 100 franchise locations, right? So you want to make sure that the business model that they're following is rock solid, so it actually works, because that's the best marketing for your franchise, is when it starts working. When you got 5 franchisees and they're all killing it and they're all making 150 plus gross within a couple years, like that's the best marketing, because they're going to tell their friend, like it's just the best, right? And so a business model that works will sell. One that's mediocre, you will be doing so much marketing to sell it, you won't be making any money.
Yeah, makes sense.
So if I was you, I would probably do the business opportunity, not because it's going to make you more money, but because, and I'd only do it for the next few years, but I'd do it just so you get the experience of how the business model works. Keep tweaking your the manual that you're giving them. Keep tweaking the training, your website, stuff like that. Test a lot of things. Like what's nice is when you have 10 guys that they don't have any like financial responsibility to pay you every month, they give you a lot of really good feedback. What I mean by that is like,
Sure.
if you've helped them, they, even if they bought a package from you, but if you email them once a month, get what's working for them, you start getting ideas, and that you might pivot the entire business model or how you market because of a way someone breaks into something, taps into something, right?
Yeah, and that actually has happened a few times with this guy in Florida. Him and I speak we still speak quite a bit, and basically he's told me a few things that he's done that's like, I wish I would have thought about that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So no, you're absolutely right. You will learn stuff from them, and no, that's a good point. You brought up some great suggestions there.
Cool. Well, is there anything else? Because I'm a couple minutes late, but like, is there anything else that pops right to your head? Because I didn't read your whole email, so I didn't get if there was other stuff at the bottom.
No, basically, you kind of answered the whole question. I think the overall gist of the email was, hey, I've had an opportunity to sell somebody a business opportunity, but I kind of want to, ultimately franchise this. My question really was to you at the end was, you started a lawn care course. You've expanded your business into a second retail location, and you're going to franchise it. What was the ultimate deciding factor for you to say, you know what, I want to franchise my business?
It's because kind of right. It's the fastest way to scale because you don't need as much capital. So for us, it's that's why I had actually asked you originally, could you have employees in other markets? Because with your business, it's not super capital intensive. For us, like you need to have a bit of money to like start in a new market, penetrate it. It's going to take a while for you to actually like start making money, just because it takes a while to get enough customers and stuff like that. So it would be like, I could keep doing what I'm doing now, and that is like start one location a year, but that's not very interesting because in the 15, 20 years, I have 15 locations, which is great. It'd be a great living. But I think in 15 years, using the franchise model, because you're tapping into the capital of the franchisee, it just allows you to grow so much faster. And then they're managing the employees, they're managing their equipment and servicing their equipment, and it's not all on corporate headquarters, which gets really heavy as far as now you got to manage the managers and then the people at each location if I'm owning them all, right? So that's why franchising for us makes sense, because I don't want to have to be managing 2,000 employees directly under our company. I'd rather manage 150 franchisor, like headquarter people, and then make sure that I'm making them create a business model for the other 200 franchisees to then run their businesses effectively.
Sure. Okay.
So, but yeah, I hope that helps. And then let me know, if I were you, this is honestly what I would do. I would say, okay, I'm going to do this for X amount of years. Or do this. Say, okay, I'm going to make this $10,000 business opportunity. Once I sell 10 of those and I have $100,000 sitting in the bank, I'm going to go start my franchising process.
Yeah. No, that's kind of what crossed my mind when a few minutes ago. So, wonderful. I appreciate your insight. It was kind of nice to be able to hear perspective from somebody who's kind of going through this themselves, and started a business opportunity for others, and now is taking it to the next level. So that's kind of what really intrigued me to reach out to you.
Cool. Well, hey, if anyone's listening to this, because I am recording this, check out prestigegrillcleaning.com, and if you're interested in a business opportunity, do hit up Mike, because I would love for this to be where he can get a few people off this or something like that, and then really take this business to another level by getting feedback. So I think that's what you're gonna get, Mike, is people that would just want to do this because it's a perfect blend between entrepreneurship and then having a job that you don't have to manage a bunch of people. And you'll get people that actually have a bigger business but are tired of managing 10 employees that they don't like, and they just want a simple job that they can work their schedule around, and this is what it would be for them, right? And so I think you can learn a lot by selling 5 or 10 business opportunities, and then let's stay in touch. And then as I'm going through my franchising stuff, we can definitely correspond.
Very good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, take care, Mike. Have a good evening.
You too, Mike.
Bye bye.